Welcome to Think Business Partnership Global. I'm your host Bertan. Today, we examine the global ripple effect. A conflict thousands of miles away is redrawing the map of African agriculture. It is April 2026. The war between Israel, the United States, and Iran has moved beyond the borders of the Middle East, striking the heart of the African farm. When the Strait of Hormuz closed last week, it wasn't just oil that stopped moving. It was the lifeblood of the African Green Revolution, fertilizer. With 45% of the world's urea passing through that narrow corridor, smallholder farmers from Nigeria to Ethiopia are watching input costs triple. The 2026 harvest is no longer a matter of weather. It is a matter of warfare. But nowhere is the strain felt more than in the poultry sector. In sub-Saharan Africa, poultry is the fastest growing source of protein, but it is a fragile success. 70% of a bird's cost is the feed. With global grain shipments diverted around the Cape of Good Hope and energy prices surging, the poultry vacuum of 2026 is threatening to wipe out a decade of gains in food security. Let's talk about numbers. As of April 2026, shipping insurance premiums for vessels in the Red Sea and Gulf of Oman have increased by 400%. That means it is now cheaper for some African countries to leave land fallow, to plant nothing, than to import nutrients. The math is brutal. A bag of urea that cost $25 in January now reaches a farmer in rural Kenya for $65, if it arrives at all. And because 29 African currencies have devalued since the war began, that $65 feels like $130 in local spending power. Farmers are planting without nitrogen. Without nitrogen, maize yields fall by half. And the planting season. March to May. It started 3 weeks ago with empty silos. This is not a supply chain problem. This is a starvation equation. Meet Coffee. Last year, he had 500 layers outside Accra. He sold eggs to 3 local schools. His birds were healthy. His future was bright. Then came 2026. Overnight, the bag of feed he bought for $12 cost $24. Fuel for transport doubled. And then came the parent stock crisis. Most of Africa's poultry genetics, the grandparent and parent birds, arrive by air freight through Middle Eastern hubs. Dubai, Doha, Amman. Those hubs are now closed or crippled by airspace restrictions. Without hatching eggs, there are no day-old chicks. Without chicks, there are no layers. Without layers, there is no protein for millions. Angola, Ghana, Cameroon, they are calling it a poultry vacuum. Coffee sold 200 birds. Then 300. Last week, he sold his last cage. Coffee is not a statistic. He is the face of a continent held hostage by a war 2,000 miles away. This is the double whammy. First, global inputs, feed, chicks, fertilizer, become scarce and expensive. Second, local currencies collapse. So even if a farmer sells their harvest, the money buys less. Farmers are trapped. In Accra, a tray of 30 eggs now costs what a week's wages used to buy. In Luanda, egg prices have more than doubled. School feeding programs are switching from eggs to nothing. And the protein gap, already severe, is becoming a famine. The war didn't just close a strait. It closed the mouths of millions of children. And Africa didn't start this fire. But Africa is burning. But here is what the war revealed. Africa cannot remain a bystander to its own food system. The African Continental Free Trade Area AfCFTA was designed for exactly this moment. Instead of waiting for ships from the Gulf, African nations are fast-tracking regional fertilizer plants. Nigeria, Morocco, and South Africa are ramping up urea production. Kenya is building its first parent stock facility for poultry. In Ghana, Coffee didn't give up. He joined a cooperative that sources feed from local maize farmers. No shipping lanes, no homers, no airspace closures. His birds are coming back. It's slower. It's harder. But it's African. The crisis of 2026 has done something unexpected. It has broken the illusion that distant markets will always provide. The lesson is clear. Africa must produce its own fertilizer, its own feed, and its own genetics. Not because of politics. Because of survival. The Strait of Hormuz is still contested. Global prices are still volatile. But Africa's farmers are no longer waiting for permission to feed themselves. The collateral harvest of this war might just be a continent waking up. At Think Business Partnership Global, we don't just watch the markets, we build the bridges that sustain them. Join us in securing Africa's future. I'm your host Bertan from Think Business Partnership Global. Thank you for watching. Share and subscribe to this channel. Because the next war won't wait. And neither should Africa.
Poultry management system, you can track feed automatically, monitor vaccination, record production, generate profit and loss instantly, plan your cash flow, run your poultry farm like a professional business. Click the link and get yours today. Think Business Partnership Global. Are you starting poultry farming? Stop guessing your costs. With BPG Smart Poultry Management System, you can track feed automatically, monitor vaccination, record production, generate profit and loss instantly, plan your cash flow, run your poultry farm like a professional business. Click the link and get yours today. Think Business Partnership Global. Are you starting poultry farming? Stop guessing your costs. With BPG Smart Poultry Management System, you can track feed automatically, monitor vaccination, record production, generate profit and loss instantly, plan your cash flow, run your poultry farm like a professional business. Click the link and get yours today. Think Business Partnership Global. Are you starting poultry farming? Stop guessing your costs. With BPG Smart Poultry Management System,